Hello everybody from the future and the present and possibly the past. I'm speaking from the past. Welcome to a new playthrough. My name is Don and this is Terminator 2D, No Fate. I almost feel the need to call this Judgment Day because when you believe it, this game is based off of Terminator 2, Judgment Day from 1991. A good movie would be an understatement for T2. It is by far probably one of the best action thrillers of all time, in my opinion. So we're gonna give that movie and the game some love. There are 4 difficulty selections in this game, one of which is locked behind playing the alternative story mode, but as of right now, I'm going to play on no Problemo, which is the most balanced difficulty. As the future rolls towards us, I see it so clearly in my nightmares. Soon a nuclear attack will annihilate the human race in an instant. Judgment Day. The attack will be carried out by Skynet, a rogue artificial intelligence program developed by CyberDyne Systems. In their arrogance, they were blind to the danger of their work, to the future they were creating. In the aftermath, the survivors will find the strength to fight back against the machines. They will be led by my son, John Connor, humanity's last hope. But he is still not ready. It's my job to make sure he will be. The freaking pixel art in this game, it looks like the actual movie, but if it were on the Super Nintendo. But instead of this, we got the Super Nintendo game, which sucks. Why did we even get that? And who is this guy? Did he just double dragon my son? Oh yeah, we're about to kill him. That bastard took John. I need to rescue him. Whatever it takes. Alright, so here's Sarah Connor in action. And each character you play as controls slightly differently from the last. Sarah Connor here controls a bit more like a Gunstar Hero or a Super Star Wars character, except, you know, in Super Star Wars case, at least with better controls. She moves and shoots in 8 general directions, but whenever she is shooting, she stands still. You can navigate around this by jumping and shooting. She will still carry her momentum when she's jumping in the air. But this stage right here is basically a tutorial to get you familiarized with the characters. And also, I'm not sure if this was a scene cut from the movie or a throwaway line, but yeah, John Connor gets kidnapped by this gang of ruffians here. And the 10 to 12 year time gap between Terminators 1 and 2, Sarah Connor and John Connor, after he's been born, went on the run. And Sarah Connor is kind of a gun and drug runner, so she's getting into some bad shit. And the sequel does make it a point to put Sarah's actions during this time as well as her assault on CyberDyne in the next level in the wrong. Although, this was a direct consequence of what happened back in 1984. Like if Kyle Reese were to live, well, I think it would still be on the run because of what happened back in the first Terminator movie, but Kyle Reese is there. John would have a father, and the family unit would still be unbroken. But that's besides the point. Here's the first boss of the game, Bandit Bob, and he is pathetically easy. That's what you get for kicking my son in the dick, you dick. He does leave behind a suicide grenade though when you do kill him, so you want to watch out for that. You get to Sarah's Jeep, and you finish the first stage. Mom, you killed those guys. You're a badass. Thieves. It's not safe here anymore. Your training will have to wait for now. Time to take matters into my own hands. I've been monitoring this lab for a while. I know CyberDyne's hiding a secret factory somewhere here. Now here's the part of the movie, or I should say the lead-up lore part of Terminator 2 the movie, where Sarah gets shot while infiltrating CyberDyne and taken to the mental asylum. And I just shot a pooch. Oh my god, Sarah, you're a monster. But no, the thing about Terminator and Terminator 2, like the first and second movie, there's a lot of time in between those movies that theoretically you could make 1 or 2 movies out of that time gap. And I think it will work too. Now, none of this Terminator Genesis Dark Fate bullshit. I want a Terminator movie taking place in between 1 and 2. And maybe 2 and 3 too, I guess. Terminator 3, honestly, not a bad movie by itself, but so aggressively average compared to 1 and 2, so why bother? And then there's Terminator Salvation, which... honestly, I don't even think I've seen Terminator Salvation. Okay, then never mind. Terminator Salvation, who cares? That's the one that takes place solely in the future, I'm guessing. I might give it a shot, but I probably would not care because it's not Terminators 1 or 2. Or even the Terminator anime, Terminator Zero. That one's pretty cool because it takes place in not a completely different timeline, but a completely different part of the world. And for what it was trying to do, it was pretty cool. You see, the problem with the sequels after 2 was it was trying to be Terminator 2, and it failed in every way. I mean, you could make the argument that Terminator 2 was also a retread of Terminator 1, but the thing with Terminator 1 was it was on an extremely low budget for 1984. And the reason why Terminator 1 worked so well back then was because James Cameron was a genius when it came to practical effects. And by the time of Terminator 2, after, you know, Aliens and The Abyss, computer graphics and special effects have improved. You can now make people into liquid monstrosities through CGI. And James Cameron came up with the idea during the production of the first movie. So what if you can make this liquid metal Terminator? And that's when James Cameron worked on the script for T2. He got Arnold and Linda Hamilton back and all them, but he didn't want Arnold to be the bad guy this time. In fact, the first 30 minutes of T2 is just insanely smart how they filmed it. Okay, so you got Arnold, who is just big. It's Arnold, of course. But you also got Robert Patrick, who is a smaller, but he's still smaller than Arnold. That's just a fact. So they filmed it in a way so it implies that the Terminators, or at least Robert Patrick, killed somebody, but it's not directly shown. But it shows Arnold not killing anybody. He just throws a guy onto a grill and beats the people in the bar up, and that's it. In admittedly very violent fashion on T-800 Arnold's part, how he takes down the bikers, but non-lethal nonetheless. Yo, why are these graphics so good? Anyway, here's stage 3, and this is where the difficulty picks up a little bit. You got some crushing hazards, like right there. I probably should have let that guy get crushed, but whatever. Wait a minute, no, why the fuck was that guy there? That's really dumb. Oh wait, here we go. Oh! Yeah, that's, this game is rated M, by the way. I was surprised at first because this is a side-scroller, but I'm also not surprised because the original Terminator 2 was rated R. So I guess the ESRB was right on this one. Actually, real question. How many of you in the chat have seen Terminator 2 as their first R-rated movie? Because I know a lot of people IRL that has seen Terminator 2 as their first R-rated movie. I do feel like it is kind of baby's first R-rated movie in my opinion, because outside of a few F-bombs and maybe chill out dickwad, and also a few bloody scenes, I don't think Terminator 2 is that violent or gratuitous for an R-rated movie. Was it the nuclear bomb scene? I think it was the nuclear bomb scene. Anyway, I should probably start talking about the game for once, and the many stage hazards of level 3. Now, outside of the crusher gimmicks, you also have these flamethrowers, and you have lava. Or molten steel in this case. Whenever you find a health pack, be sure to pick it up because that serves as a checkpoint. And whenever you're at full health and you pick up a health pack, you'll gain an extra hit point. Those extra hit points will not carry over into the next level, tying back to the Super Star Wars parallels I made with Sarah earlier. Because in the Star Wars trilogy on Super NES, you'll pick up these health swords which will serve as extra hit points. For that level and that level alone. So yeah, Sarah Connor surprisingly can take a whole bunch of hits and just shrug it off no problem. I mean, she's not the Terminator, but she's also human too. And while we're on the subject, yes, you do get to play as the T-800 in this game, of course. but he's more of what I like to call the bonus stage type of specialty character, if you know what I mean. His gameplay is really unique compared to Sarah Connor and John Connor. What do I mean about that? Well, you'll find out later, but he doesn't really have to worry about health as much as the other two characters do. Oh, that hurts! You can jump on top of enemies and knock them out, but that's only if you're jumping from a different platform onto them. You can't really Goomba stomp people regularly in this game. Though that might be a good gameplay style for young John Connor. Just hop and bop like Mario. Because, you know, it's young John Connor, he's small. He's a baby. Actually, wasn't John Connor supposed to be like 10 or 11? I think it was 11 in Terminator 2, like the actual movie. Edward Furlong, the actor for John Connor, you could actually see him grow up during the movie itself, because the filming was taking so damn long. And you get to hear all the unpleasant voice cracks too, which admittedly does not bother me. It's really just Edward Furlong growing up during the process of the movie itself that's what threw me off. Anyway, here's the boss of stage 3. It's a giant core. You shoot the core in order to destroy it. You have this giant wing fortress laser that shoots down at you, but you can shoot the core. Well, you're supposed to shoot the core too, but you can shoot the laser in order to bounce it back the other way. The core itself will shoot out these grenades, which you could actually bounce the grenades away from you with your melee attack. Bastards. A prototype Terminator. Freeze! On the ground, now! Do you have any idea what you're doing? 3 billion human lives. Don't you fucking care? Sarah, you're gonna have to plead your case a bit stronger than that. You look insane here. I did everything I could to stop Judgment Day. To destroy Skynet before it was ever created. CyberDyne covered it all up, of course. Locked me up in a fucking mental hospital. The official story was that I tried to blow up a computer factory. Computer factory. If only it were that simple. I think about the countless lives I could have saved. The future I could have saved my son from. I don't remember future John Connor having those scars. I'm sorry, John. But here's where the narrative shifts over to the future war, and we get to play as General John Connor. Our intel says Skynet's working on a device to send Terminators back in time. We need to find his coordinates now. Future John controls more like how you would expect a running gun character to move. These stages are a bit more of a Contra style of gameplay. John can move and shoot, he can throw grenades, and he can roll. The dodge roll does have some iframes, so take advantage of that when you can. The future stages introduce Terminator enemies, both in skeletal form as well as infiltrator form. The exoskeleton Terminators you could just take down in a few shots, and they even flinch too. It's really the infiltrator types with the skin that serve as a problem because they don't flinch whenever you shoot them. And they'll most likely shoot first, so you have to dodge roll underneath the infiltrator shots in order to get the advantage. You also have these extra enemies that probably weren't in the movie, like the spider droid I just took down, as well as robo-dogs. Terminator dogs, that's right. Which is weird because Terminators are not fond of dogs because dogs usually sniff out the Terminators just like that. For sequences like this or some boss fights, there's usually this piece of wall or shrapnel in the background that you can take cover behind. You use the cover as well as the grenades, you can take bosses down in like 10 seconds. John can also grab other weapons besides just his standard plasma rifle. You got the homing shot, you got the spread shot, which is a lot like Contra actually, except it's kind of weak. And there's also this armor-piercing plasma shot which passes through environments and also does extra damage that you can pick up. And yes, this was exactly what the Terminator from 1984 was expecting to get when he went to that gun store. Which, playing this, makes that scene from the first movie even funnier in hindsight.
Termination negative. Failsafe. Deploy secure.
The Terminator games do play with the timeline a bit just to make things more interesting for video games. Like, a lot of the games focus more on the future war than what happens during the present day. Hell, there's even supposed to be a future war Terminator game known as, well, The Terminator from Sunsoft, but the license fell through, so that became Journey to Silius. It was the best Terminator game that never was until, well, this Terminator game. And now we just have the best Terminator game. Terminator 2D. Oh wait, no, Terminator Resistance is the thing. Actually, no, this is still the best. Terminator Resistance is the second best Terminator game now.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Alright, boss time. We got the Centurion. How is John Connor going to face this thing head on? With a whole bunch of grenades, of course. The Centurion's tracking system is biffed, so you'll have a chance to run away from the blast before they can fire. How did John Connor survive any of this at all? Shit, he must be a Terminator himself. Damn it. Time displacement equipment. So Skynet's actually going through with it. We need to stop him. Let's regroup at HQ, soldiers. Resistance HQ is under attack. Those metal bastards must be desperate. Soldiers, I'll hold them off while you head for the TDE. For this mission, we have to distract the Terminators long enough for Kyle Reese to go back in time. Or at least that's implied by the story. This stage plays pretty much just like the rest. But yeah, this is where the Infiltration T-800s and the Robodogs come into play. Like I said before, the Infiltrators do not flinch when you shoot them, so you're gonna have to roll underneath their shots in order to take them down. There's one right there. Or if you have a grenade, you could just one-shot them in exchange for getting hit once. Works just as well. As for the robot dogs, they're pretty quick on their feet, so you have to be quick as well. And they also self-destruct when you take them down. And if you're near that explosion, you'll take damage. Oh, my extra weapon is gone. The game does not explain this, but whenever you pick up the homing plasma or the spread shot, it works on a timer as opposed to like how much ammo you have for that particular weapon. The blue laser weapon works well for this sequence because you can pierce the environment and go through walls with the shots. You'll have a lot of Terminators on turrets above you for this part. I just realized I said Terminators on turrets, which simultaneously sounds stupid and scary. Anyway, here's the mid-boss of this stage. You can turn them into metal mincemeat with your grenades, which you actually get 5 of. Pretty insane. John Connor, where are you storing those grenades, man? But yeah, you take down the boss. There's still a little bit of stage left before you make it to the actual boss.
vehicle activated. Warning. Warning. Warning.
Oh, the freaking HK bomber. Now, this thing actually was in Terminator 2 during the future sequence. I'm not sure if it was in 1, but it was definitely in 2. This boss can be a bit tricky on your first playthrough because of the patterns, but there is a way around it. You see those snails that spawn out of the bomber? You want to shoot those right as they spawn. Or at least whenever they're on the same level as the bomber, because they'll explode and the bomber will take extra damage.
Warning. Warning.
Come in, Sergeant. This is Commander Connor. Do you read me? I'm afraid we were too late, sir. The TDE has already been used. Twice. Monitors show 1984 and 1995. One for Mom, and one for me. I can go back for Sarah. It will be my honor to protect her. Thank you. But sir, that's not all. We discovered some kind of residue left behind on the TDE. Looks like liquid metal. Liquid metal? Who are we going to send back to protect you, sir? Don't worry, Sergeant. I have an idea. And we'll get back to that idea later. Back to the present, or 1995, and we're going to play as the T-800. So stay tuned for the next part, where we dive into the events of Terminator 2 Judgment Day proper, and go into the biker bar to beat some people up. I'll see you guys then. If you like the video, be sure to thumbs up, and if you want to see more gameplay videos like this, hit that subscribe button, it helps the channel out.